Hey there, Jake here from CVP. The NiSi Athena primes have become an incredibly popular set of cinema lenses for their excellent blend of size, weight, clean neutral image, and fantastic price point. Well, today we are taking a look at a new version of the Athenas. These are the Rewind, a new, more vintage-tuned set of Athenas with some pretty interesting characteristics. But what kind of image can they capture, and are they any good? Well, let's take a look. The Rewind do share a lot with the original Athenas, but wide open they have distinct image characteristics that are more tuned for a vintage aesthetic. This includes loads of spherical aberration, bubbly distinct bokeh, and strong warm flares. Stopping down does allow you to control not only your depth of field, but also the strength of this look. At t5.6, the Rewind are far closer to the Athena's more neutral modern look, effectively giving you two looks in a single lens. I think the Rewind aren't quite as mass appealing as the regular Athenas, but for filmmakers wanting something with a bit more character, but with some of the Athena DNA, this could be worth looking at. The first large change is how these lenses handle sharpness. They are tuned to have a lot of spherical aberration wide open when focused. This results in a much softer and lower contrast look wide open than a regular Athena. However, as you stop down, this is reduced, with it pretty much going at t2.8 on each lens in the centre. The 14 and 25mm have the most controlled look wide open, with the 35, 50 and 85mm having much more of a glow to them. They are honestly quite hard to tell if you're sharp or not wide open, but stopping down a touch does help. If you want better corner-to-corner performance, stopping down to 5.6 onwards does improve them in the corners, but they don't quite bite up like an original Athena does in the corners. Having the ability to control the look of a lens throughout its aperture range isn't uncommon. It's used in plenty of lenses like the Zeiss Atma that we looked at recently, and even with some vintage lenses as well. Wide open is a very strong look on the 35, 50 and 85mm. And personally, I think the best balance of them is around the T2.5 to 2.8 area. You still get some nice glow without it being too much. Having the ability to dial in the strength of this part of the look is good. You just need to make sure you're happy with the look at a given T-stop. Next, the Rewinds have a very different look to their out of focus elements compared to the original Athenas. They have been designed that wide open after the focus plane, they have a harder defined edge to out of focus highlights with a darker centre than the outer part of the highlight. This is what I would call overcorrected bokeh and is commonly known as soap bubble bokeh. This gives backgrounds more texture than undercorrected bokeh. Before the focus plane, the lenses are tuned to be softer with a much smoother look and glow to the image. This means that they have a very different look to the original Athenas. It's far more vintage inspired and defined, whereas the original Athenas are much smoother. We can also see a touch of colour in the outer focus highlights after our point of focus. Stopping down to around T4 does bring the bokeh more in line with the regular Athena's performance, so you have the option to control what kind of look you want. Wide open, they are certainly more tuned for a vintage look, as I've seen plenty of vintage lenses with bokeh very similar to this. How a lens handles flare is a crucial component of its design, and for more video and cine users, how a lens flares is an important character that can transform the look of a lens. The Rewind has a different flare compared to the standard Athena. They flare much easier and are far busier. The flare also shifts more yellow and green compared to the original Athenas, which is more blue and green. I think the Rewind have a much more interesting flare. I really like the rainbow touches, but which do you prefer? Let us know in the comments. When it comes to colour cast overall, the Rewind are similar to the original Athenas with a fairly neutral and modern colour to them. I just want to thank our sponsor, us. Did you know that you can buy most of the kit you see in this video and loads of other cine, video and photo equipment on our website? We sell and ship globally, so if you've been eyeing up a new bit of kit, please use the links in the description as it really helps us keep doing these videos. When it comes to distortion, NiSi have purposely tuned the Rewind to have a touch more barrel than the original Athenas. Looking across the set, I think these are still pretty well controlled on average, but we can see a touch more barrel distortion than the regular Athenas. The Rewinds have an image circle of 46.3mm, which hasn't changed compared to the original Athenas. They've been designed to be used with full frame cameras, and across the set they cover well, apart from the 14mm, which does have some light fall off towards the corners on the V-Raptor and 3x2 sensors. We captured our standard coverage images as part of our testing, so if you want to see how they cover your camera sensor, head over to our lens coverage and camera comparison tool, link to which is in the description. Past the things that we've mentioned, the Rewinds share loads with the original Athenas. This includes their close focus, the well-controlled focus breathing, and overall mechanics. They have the same matched compact housing and weights, 300-degree focus rotation, and quite deep protruding rear optic. This can limit these and the regular Athenas with certain cameras and rear filtration adapter systems, but you'll need to check this on a use-by-use basis. The NiSi Athena Rewinds are an interesting set of lenses. The original Athenas were popular for their compact size, clean image, and affordable price. The Rewind kind of offers you two lenses in one. Around wide open, you have the strong look that we've shown, and then stop down, you essentially have a regular Athena with some corner fall off and a different flare. The spherical aberration is quite strong wide open on some of the lenses, which does work for some subjects. And if wide open the softness is too much, it's good that you have the option to control it as you stop down. I do wish that the spherical aberration was a touch more controlled, and the look of it and the bokeh generally was a bit more consistent throughout the set. Wide open, the look is pretty intense, which could be seen as a limitation, but there are plenty of lens sets that people lust after that have very distinct looks when wide open. And if you like the image the Rewind and the Athenas can capture, these offer a unique controllable image. Anyway, let us know what you think of the NiSi Athena Rewinds down in the comments below. And if you like the video, please give it a like and maybe consider subscribing so you don't miss out on our awesome upcoming content. And thank you so much for watching.